Greetings and salutations, friends. I am Numithrendor, and we come now to the brink. There's not much more that I can do without facing the fire giant and without burning the Erdtree. So, putting that off a little bit longer, let us speak with those we can here at the Round Table hold.
I hear you helped get the girl back on her feet. Though I'm not her foster father anymore, I'd still like to thank you. Sorry for the time you had to waste.
I see. That's all you can say about Nefeli, the daughter you abandoned and betrayed with your wickedness, Gideon. Well, I will enjoy killing you when we meet at the foot of the Erdtree. But now, speak to me of the secret medallions.
Ah, I see you've laid your hands on the other secret medallion. I'm glad to see my counsel has borne fruit, but the honor of the deed is yours alone. You've made more of yourself than Ensha has. Now, more importantly, both secret medallions are in your hands. I suppose you'd like to know, then? What awaits you on the path ahead? Me too, my friend. Me too. I wait with bated breath.
So much for you being the all-knowing.
There are 4 more demigods yet to be located. Mikola of the Erdtree, the Unalloyed, his twin, Melania, the undefeated swordswoman, Lunar Princess Rani, daughter to Renala, and the one only known as the Lord of Blood. Rani is said to have cast aside her great rune, so here at the Hold, we seek the whereabouts of the remaining 3 shard bearers. If you should learn anything of these matters, I'll trade your findings for a hidden treasure or a long-lost right, known only to me. We both desire to stand before the Elden Ring and become Elden Lord. As such, I hope we are compelled to work together.
The Lord of Blood is in truth Mohg, founder of the so-called Mohgwyn dynasty, and I have lately slain him and put an end to his revolting existence. As for Mikola, I know not where he may be found, though perhaps that will be rectified relatively soon. As for Melania, I found her at the foot of the Erdtree, the very roots of it, and I have bested her in battle. Though, whether or not I slew her, I have my doubts. She bloomed for the 3rd time during our battle, and while I escaped the fate of Radahn, for now, I fear what might have been unleashed upon the world, assuming that Melania can recover, and assuming that the 3rd blooming will be the same as the 1st or 2nd. After all, Gallery the Sage, the pest that he was, believed that Melania's third transformation would bring an ascension of a sort, turning her into a true goddess. Though, I have no notion what he believed that goddess would appear to be. I'm hoping that this swamp of Ionia and what became of Caelid is not the end, that Melania is doomed to repeat. That would be too cruel for Mikola to return, only to find that his sister has laid waste to all within the lands between. Yet there's no telling, is there? We only have to wait and see. As for Rani, well, I've taken her to wife. Though, admittedly, she has departed for the stars. So, take the wifing with a grain of salt, yes? Now, for the secret medallions, again, what more can you tell me?
So the secret medallions led you to the land of the Erdtree. I'd expect to find Melania there. She who fought Radahn to a standstill. Well, if the Scarlet Rot hasn't eaten her away completely. But with the Erdtree as it is, I suppose Mikola must already be. My apologies. Lost myself for a moment there. The information you shared is of great value. As promised, your reward. A secret rite, known only to me. You are a true fellow. All I ask is that you remain constant.
Black Flame's protection, eh? Well, I have not only visited the Erdtree, but I have been to their very roots, and I saw the likeness of Mikola down in the depths.
So, the Erdtree, now but a husk. I heard speculation Mikola embedded himself in the Erdtree, but before he could finish, someone cut the tree open and absconded with his infant form. Indeed, it seems those words held weight. How vexing that the All-Knowing didn't have the full story. Perhaps the Queen's sorrow was justified. My apologies. Lost myself for a moment there. The information you shared is of great value. As promised, your reward. A secret rite, known only to me. You are a true fellow. All I ask is that you remain constant.
Now that is interesting. So you knew part of this tale, but you revealed something new to me. That Marika grieved for the loss of Mikola. I'm assuming when you speak of the Queen, that you mean Marika. Interesting to know that she cared about Mikola, at least. I wonder about that. Radagon's true nature. A most vexing question. And now, I believe I have an answer for where Mikola may have been taken. Moog had him, it seemed, in a cocoon of sorts.
I see. So Mikola was with the Lord of Blood after all. That is some fine intelligence indeed. With it, the final clue has been brought into the light. One of the last few pieces of the round table. I need to put everything together. As promised, allow me to impart to you the last of the secret rites, known only to me.
Law of causality.
Well, what is it now? Well, what is it now?
I see. You have nothing more to say to me. Well, I suppose you did give to me the last of your rights. The last piece of knowledge that you and you alone possess. Lord's Divine Fortification. Incantation taught to Gideon the All-Knowing by the Two Fingers. Greatly increases holy damage negation for the caster and nearby allies. Hold to continue praying and delay activation. Gideon gained true knowledge after his long exchange with the Two Fingers, discovering all had been broken long ago, that the trembling fingers bent with age, and the Erdtree itself were no exception. So the fingers have themselves fallen prey to time. At some point I'm going to have to go through all of these, but I think that will be an episode unto itself. Simply going over and reading aloud all of these descriptions. Law of Causality. One of the incantations of the Golden Order fundamentalists, one of the key fundamentals, manifests a small ring of causality within that allows the caster to automatically retaliate upon receiving a certain number of blows. The fundamentalists describe the Golden Order through the power of regression and causality. Causality is the pull between meanings, that which links all things in a chain of relation. And the law of regression, of course. But now the Black Flame's protection. A Black Flame incantation of the Godskin Apostles summons black fire within, increasing physical damage negation. However, sacred flasks and other such forms of HP restoration are impaired. The apostles were all embraced by the gloam-eyed queen, and the black flame was their armor within. Yep, sounds like that would have been wonderful to have against Melania. Until we get to the impairment of our healing abilities. That, I dare say, curbed whatever use that spell, incantation, Kazare, would have had. And we have a handful of bell bearings to give unto our maiden husks. And now we can buy Somber 1 through 6. Now, I'm going to buy all that I can. Because now I intend a perilous crossing. As we've come to a point of no return, well, I have little choice but to go forward and try something that I have been putting off for a while. A very long while. But before we go, let us see if Roderica and Master Hugh have anything to tell me.
Greetings. Are you here for spirit tuning?
Alas. Ah, but
Greetings. Are you here for Spirit?
there is actually... Ah. Of course. I do not have the runes any longer. Not for any of the major ones, at any rate. Oh well. What of you, Master Hugh?
Well, where have you been hiding? I took you for dead. No matter, it's all the same. Lay out your arms, then.
Alas, you have nothing more to say, I see. No matter. We will speak again before the end. And now... I have to see how far I must go. Hopefully this will be close enough. Once again, I've taken a brief break from the game. My voice hasn't quite been what it should be. And perhaps it still isn't. Ah. So it looks like I have a bit more of a trip ahead of me than I thought. No matter. Now we have skellies trying to vomit on me. Fortunate for us that we have a solution to their filth. Oh dear. We're in for a bit of a ride here. And in truth, this is only one portion of the trip that I need to make. Oh yes, there is a fair bit more. And the lock-on stopped working right as I landed, making that swing a smidge awkward. Now, let's equip our bow again. Yes, there's no reason why we should deal with flamethrowers when we can quite simply turn it off. Didn't quite... I got behind him, and that made the mistake of coming round to the front of him again slightly. Oh well. A chapel devoted to the omens, is it? two of us can play the leaping game, and I think you'll find that I'm better at it. Crucible Scale Talisman. While I'm here, might as well get the Taker's cameo on my side again. There it is. A talisman fashioned from a scale that embodies the aspects of various creatures, said to have grown on the human body long ago. Reduces damage taken from critical hits. A vestige of the crucible of primordial life. Born partially of devolution, it was considered a signifier of the divine in ancient times, but is now increasingly disdained as an impurity as civilization has advanced. And same thing for the other crucible talismans. Oh yes, minor interesting details. Huh. Convenient. Saves me the trouble of having to lower that again. We have bodies. Corpses that I did not make. And if I didn't kill them, I'm going to have to assume they are not in fact dead. Ooh, just barely made that. Yeah, my stamina came back just fast enough for that to work out in my favor, but that was still a near thing. Liar ahead, you say? Quite a few skeletons. And they managed to knock me out of my attack a couple times. And so did me far more harm than I was expecting them to. And like that, one door opens. Yep, I remember you. It's interesting that you didn't hit me at any point, despite the fact that I simply was not able to knock you out of your stance. I'm actually not sure you would have hit me, even if I had stood still for that one. For obvious reasons, I did not stand still. But even so... a bit wonky on the aim with that move, it seemed. Now... our trouble with this place hasn't quite ended yet. I recall getting a bit lost down here. Wandering these halls for far longer than was necessary. Because I had quite simply forgotten the correct path. Okay, wake up. Yep. A new path is opened. And little gremlins have emerged to annoy me. Yes, as it happens, the first time I came here, I had an idea in my head of what I was supposed to find. Speaking of finding, we found the lever. The heavy door is opened. But yes, I had a few ideas. I had been mildly spoiled on a thing I believed would be accessible through this specific place. Turned out that I had it partly wrong. Yeah, if you're summoning your woofers, then I'm going to summon Tish. Actually, you know what? You could just die here. Lord of Blood's exaltation. Yes, no need to bother Tish with trash like that. So, let's see what it was precisely that we just acquired. Blood loss in vicinity increases attack power. A talisman depicting the exaltation of the Lord of Blood. Render up your offerings of blood to your lord. Drench my consort's chamber. Slake his cocoon's thirst. His awakening shall herald the dawn of our dynasty. I have to think that Mikola was truly disgusted with Moog. Assuming that he was even there to be disgusted by him. I'm not so sure that he ever actually was present after Moog allegedly took him. And considering the little we've seen from Shadow of the Erdtree, I'm even more skeptical about the idea, well, that Moog ever possessed Mikola. Mikola cast aside his Empyrean flesh, after all. Let us see. Trying to remember details. Getting shot certainly isn't helping me recall the correct path forward. Well, at least I haven't been through here yet, as evidenced by the rune I just picked up. Oh, wonderful. Infinitely respawning ghost soldiery. Oh. Ow. I know where we are. We're back in the shunning grounds. Yes, indeed. And we finally managed to open up a shortcut. Now then. Ooh, you I can stagger. Wonderful. I managed to break your stance. But you were mostly dead by then anyway. Yes. I'm going to... I think I'm actually going to call it here for this episode. Bit of a short one. But this requires a small bit of research. Or, actually, will I? I do not appreciate you trying to hug me. The horns get in the way. Yeah. No. My memory is failing me at the moment. So I believe we will call it here. We will pick up right here in the next episode, however, just as soon as I've recalled the correct path. Because where I'm going is one of the best kept secrets in this game. And that's saying something since it's a FromSoft game. Well, look forward to that next time. If you've enjoyed this, please remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, have a good day.